inside of the stomach, because these are living cells that line the inside of the gut, the inside of the intestines. They're active. They're helping with food absorption in the gut with acid.
This is Mike Tyson's also they're talking about.
Damage to those cells can cause.
I want to get into this video more so the head trauma of Mike.
I don't always have time to pack lunch and end up spending way too much money on unhealthy fast food. Well, today's sponsor, Huel, is here to help. Huel is no prep meals that don't compromise on your health. Huel is not.
Sorry, guys.
Goes down.
Here it is.
Example, we look here at the State of Nevada Athletic Commission professional contestant. This is what is required: the application portal, the fee, and then this physical exam report where they talk about some laboratory testing, right? HIV, hepatitis. You don't want to be transmitting those. You also have to have a dilated eye exam, specifically by an ophthalmologist, not just an optometrist. And then importantly, in the case of the state of Nevada, an actual MRI of the brain without contrast, and an MRA looking at the blood flow and the circulation within the brain. It has to have been done every 5 years. And interestingly, if you dive into the link for that MRI of the brain, they can give more detail that specify what they're going to be looking at. So they're going to be looking at the signs of traumatic brain injury, if there's an atrophy, if there's any sort of dilation of the ventricles, increased size of the ventricles, evidence of contusion, shearing injury, all very legitimate things that can be a sign of structural damage in your brain that you want to know about if you're trying to fight the clear. If we look at the actual medical clearance form, this details what needs to be done for their history, their physical exam. But crazily, if you look at the state of Nevada and the physical exam, the only neurologic part of the physical exam is looking at the pupil reflexes, the knee reflex, a Romberg, which is a balance, very, very basic balance assessment, and something called the Babinski, which is a test of an upper motor neuron or a spinal cord / potential brain lesion. But there's no actual formal neurologic exam.
There's no fMRI, which is a functional MRI.
Compete in combat sports in the state of Nevada. You need an MRI, which is great. I think that's very important, but you don't actually need to do an in-depth, extensive neurology exam for the state of Nevada. So we're kind of 50-50 here. We've got a brain MRI, but we don't have any specific mention about an exam from a neurologist. Now, if we contrast that with the state of California, this is the form from the state of California in terms of what's required for medical clearance. A physical, valid for 12 months. Eye exam, again, done by an ophthalmologist, a specific eye surgeon, valid for 12 months. Neuro. So the state of California requires that you've actually been evaluated by a neurologist or a neurosurgeon for an in-depth nerve brain exam from a physical standpoint. Also, MRI, done by a neurologist, neurosurgeon. There's a summary form. That one's valid for 3 years. So the state of California requires both an MRI and requires a neuro exam. In my opinion, very thorough, a very excellent, well-rounded assessment of a fighter's health from a neurologic perspective. Now, of course, let's go look at the state of Texas, where this fight.
This is where the fight's taking place.
Down here, we look at the licensing forms. This is going to be the physical and eye exam form to compete as a combat sport athlete in the state of Texas. Now, here you have to do an ophthalmology exam, which again, part of an evaluation for the eyes. That's great, but there is nothing in here
for brain MRI at all.
Imaging.
To see if he has brain damage.
Have a brain MRI, a brain MRA, looking at the blood flow in the brain. I will say they have at least a little bit better of a neurology exam. So here they're going to ask you to test the cranial nerves, grossly, which are the nerves kind of controlling the head. Gait, some balance again with Romberg, finger to nose. That's a test for coordination. But a very simple neurologic exam that can be done by a non-neurologist. And then again, nothing in here about requiring.
And basically, it doesn't say whether he's got brain damage and will be able to withstand multiple punches or not.
Texas will do if you're considered an older fighter is they'll require an EEG, an electroencephalography, and an EKG, an electrocardiogram, if you're older than 36. So the State of Texas Athletic Commission considers 36 to be an older age where you have to have additional testing done. Tyson is going to be 22 years older than this. And so it's just crazy that, again, there's not some other threshold of fighter clearance given that level of age. And an EEG is not going to give you any good, strong sense of structural brain trauma from repetitive blows, from aging.
So basically, what do you guys think? You think this is going to dictate whether Tyson could take the blows to the head at 58 years old or not? I say no. I say he's too old. Look at his last knockouts that I put a prior YouTube video up. and he got knocked out, in 2005 by Kevin McBride. He got knocked out by Lennox Lewis. He got knocked out by two other guys. I forget their names. And four times he's been knocked out early in his career, and then he quit. Came back in 2020. He looked terrible, in my opinion, boxing against Roy Jones Jr. But now he's fighting somebody that can punch hard, fast, and quick with no scanning for the brain. So I wish him well.